Coming up on Kochie's Business Builders, how to make sure your digital marketing delivers, the secrets of establishing a successful bar, and the final instalment of Ask Kochie. Welcome back to KBB for the final time this series. Oh, I'm a bit sad, but we've had a lot of fun bringing you small business stories and expert advice from right around Australia. So thanks for joining us and really hope you've got a lot out of this series. On today's show, we're off to meet the successful duo behind Applejack Hospitality to find out how to build a great bar. But before that, we're at a circus skills training organisation for a digital marketing lesson with Tony Eads. Let's get into it though with news you can use.
Researchers found that consumers will pay more for a single expensive item by itself than they will when it's packaged with something else. In a recent study, respondents were given the option of buying a luxury item on its own or the same product bundled with a cheap giveaway item. Those who were shown the bundle were willing to pay significantly less than those shown the more expensive product by itself. Researchers concluded that when put in a package, the low-value item dragged down the perceived value of the expensive one. So, contrary to the popular sales tactic, throwing cheap freebies in with top-shelf products might actually discourage rather than entice sales.
Aerial Eyes is a circus and aerial skills training organisation that's been coaching adults, kids and infants for 15 years. They have a lot of fun and run a steady business, but need a bit of a boost. To help them get that lift from digital marketing, Tony Eads dropped by to share his tips.
So Dallas, tell us about this wonderful business.
This is Aerial Eyes. Aerial Eyes is a circus and aerial skills training organisation. That's what we do. It was formed about 15 years ago, and we run classes for adults, kids, even infants, and that's in a sense become more the core business of the organisation in terms of its money-earning potential anyway.
So with such a creative business as this, how do you go about marketing it?
Well, that's a good question. We ran an open day recently, and I'd done quite a bit of advertising. We haven't got a big advertising budget, but I wanted to know how people found out about it, so I ran a raffle on the day, and the price of going in the raffle was you had to tell me how you found out about the day, and only 4 of them said that they found out about it through any of the means that I spent money on. All of the rest were by word of mouth or Facebook.
It's very interesting, isn't it? And I think that kind of shows how the world has kind of shifted from outbound marketing, which is advertising and all that kind of stuff, to inbound marketing, which is all content-driven, which is why online is so important. They reckon by 2020, 85% of the customer buying experience will be done before they even talk to a human. So it just shows you how if you haven't got the right content out in the marketplace, that last 15% you're probably not going to get a look in. So we need to really build content, and we do that through a thing called a blog, which I noticed on your website you don't have at the moment.
No, we use blogging software for it, and it's relatively new, that website.
Yep.
So we've made it fairly static at the moment, but that's the next stage.
Well, one of the things about a blog is to make it personal, because you've got to, if you understand who your market is as you do, it's make it personal. So give it a name. For example, you could call your blog On Air, for example. So you're kind of tying in the broadcast media with the fact that you're in the air. And then put content and stories like that people want to hear about. So educational stories about all the types of things you can do. They reckon 82% of companies that blog daily, now it's quite a lot of work you've got to do, but if you can put something out every day, achieve customers directly from their blog.
After the break, Tony's tips for capturing online sales for their offline business. This business tip brought to you by NAB, helping Australian business see more, not less. Tim, you can buy just about anything online these days. When it comes to e-commerce for small business and online stores, what do you see?
Yeah, well, Kochie, there's no doubt that e-commerce is definitely booming, and that's largely due to the fact that it's much easier and cheaper to manage an online store these days.
OK, so explain developing an online store for me.
You can either build a website from scratch, or you can use a hosted e-commerce website package. And we generally find that our customers prefer the second option because it's much simpler, less time-consuming and cheaper. So we've started to work with Moboom, who are an Australian-based e-commerce startup, and they've designed professionally themed templates that enable you to tailor what you need to get your secure online store going.
Less time maintaining the website, more time doing business, which is fabulous. But how do I get paid?
We can set up a NAB e-commerce merchant account for you, which enables you to take credit card payments online, and we can settle those funds directly into your NAB bank account.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Kochie.
For more tips and stories, visit nab.com.au/more-for-business. Aerialise is a business currently relying on word of mouth and Facebook ads for generating new sales, but now they're ready to get serious about digital marketing. Let's get Tony Eads' tips for making that happen.
What about e-marketing? I mean, sharing video via e-marketing. I mean, have you got a database? Have you done any e-marketing?
We send out a newsletter about once a fortnight.
I was talking before about outbound marketing, in-your-face advertising. A lot of those emails that you're going to send up, if they're advertising or promotion, they won't get a lot of interaction. I don't know if you even track the open rates of your emails, just so you see how many they go through. The idea with e-marketing as well is to keep it low in words. 70% of people nowadays open an email on a mobile phone. I don't know if you knew that.
That's right.
So if you're sending out a long form, longly worded email, it's not going to get read. So lots of pictures, short little clips and links that take you back to the website. Because what we want to do with e-marketing is not actually do any advertising or promotion with the email, we want to drive them back to the website. So let's have a look at your website. Nielsen Group did a survey and found that you have just 59 seconds, would you believe, on a homepage to capture somebody before they go off and have a look somewhere else. And 3 reasons why people leave: they don't find what they're looking for, they don't know what to do next, or they don't believe it's actually, you know, relevant and good for them. So we have to really tick those 3 boxes if we want people to stay on our website and engage with the brand while they're actually there. One of the things I think you're missing on the homepage of your website is video. So video is such an engaging thing. In like a 60-second or 2-minute video, you can actually see the whole brand come to life. Driving traffic into the website, you can use a number of different ways to do that. When we look at what people are searching for, we can then use Google AdWords. So instead of spending a lot of time with blogging, which you're going to do anyway, but that takes time to build your SEO, your search engine optimization up, we can do a Google AdWords campaign. And what that does is get you instantly to the top 1, 2 or 3 position for certain keywords. So understanding your audience, so if it's the adults looking for exercise or it's the performers looking for circus training, you need to be specific about, say, 10 keyword searches that market would do. You need to create specific landing pages for those specific ads. And then on there has to be a call to action. It's all about content nowadays, and Google will reward you and your SEO, so you will climb the ladder with keywords and stuff if you put good quality content out there.
Some great tips there for starting your digital marketing strategy. Make your website easy to navigate and present important information right up front. Use video where you can, and if search advertising is within your budget, make sure you understand the audience and key words that you're targeting. Up next, we find out the secrets of hospitality success.
This segment is brought to you by Canon Maxify.
Hi, I'm Sophie Abernethy. I'm the marketing assistant here at Watson's Bay Boutique Hotel. There's multiple elements to our business. So we have the boutique hotel with 31 rooms upstairs. We also have a beautiful architecturally designed events and wedding space where we can do corporate events, private events, wedding receptions. We also have the beach club downstairs where we serve food and drinks and do a lot of our calendar events throughout the year. We're in a residential area, so we try and do as much as possible to keep our local families happy, and that's part of our sort of mantra, is just always having our locals and our families here and trying to get them involved as much as possible. We're finding at the moment our social media is really strong and we're experiencing huge growth. We're a very Instagrammable venue, so there's a lot of talkability around us and what we do, and a lot of it is organic, but we do support that with a budget for putting money towards AdWords, SEO type marketing. We have a great PR agency on board. We make sure that we're always consulting them when we come up with our events and our campaigns and promotions, but we also try and collaborate with other brands, other local community groups. There's obviously a clear peak season during the summer, so we run a lot of different promotions throughout the year to make sure that our accommodation is booking out and that we're staying top of mind for not only our locals and our corporates, but also the wider sort of tourism industry. In a boutique hotel in peak season, we are super busy. We're often booked out of a weekend. That means people checking in, checking out. We need resources, in particular our printer that is really quick and efficient. So the Canon Maxify has 100% stepped up to that task. It responds really quickly. The quality is amazing. If we want to print for our hotel guests, you know, maps or pictures of where they're doing what to do, it is just of a really great quality. We have a lot of corporate customers. They can log into our Wi-Fi during a meeting or on their way out from their booking, and they just have the ease to hit print straight away. It also helps us when we're busy. We don't have to manage that process for them and have them log into their email and us print their email. They can just print it quickly, easily, and we can just hand over the print. So over this busy period, we've just been printing so much. The printer's been running hot and we have not noticed the ink going down at all, which is a huge positive for us and a huge cost saver.
Visit the Canon Australia website to discover more information about Canon Maxify.
After spending years in hospitality management, Ben Carroll and Hamish Watts saw a gap for medium-sized restaurant and bar venues in Sydney. So they left their jobs and jumped in, and now have 3 bars under their belts. KBB's Alex Brophy caught up with the duo to find out what's made their business such a success.
So Ben, Hamish, a couple of young blokes running a few bars, living the dream. How'd you get started in hospitality?
We started working at this company together and we were in senior roles there, and from that they went into receivership, and it was a prime opportunity, I guess, to go out on our own and sort of egg each other on a little bit.
We'd spent a lot of time working in venues trying to work out how to make them perform better and how to offer our guests better experiences and how to make them more profitable as well. So by doing that, I think it kind of led us into wanting to do something of our own. So when, you know, things were not going so well with the company we were working for, we worked on each other's strengths and decided that a partnership was the right way to go and move from there, I guess.
What were the most important things in that initial planning and research that made you think we can make this work?
I think the most important part was making sure that we had a product that was right. You know, I think doing all of checking all the business financials and making sure we had a bunch of different models that would work was really important. But I think all of that's, you know, a complete waste of time if you haven't got a rock solid product that you think's going to fly.
Something that's distinct when you walk into each one of your bars is they're all very different, they have a really unique feel. Why didn't you just replicate your first success when you moved on?
We thought it was important to offer a unique experience at each of them and try not to completely just take that brand and manipulate it and emulate it and take it over.
When we're in different demographics, all of our businesses, so we've got to make sure we're catering to the particular market that we're going for.
Because it's incredibly tough. You walk past fantastic looking bars with nobody in them. What was it that made your first venture, Bondi Hardware, work?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time out there checking the local market, finding out what people want, and then also just making sure that we had all of the branding down and all the things that make a business, particularly a hospitality business, sing right from day one. And I think that was sort of paramount to the success, particularly the initial launch, just getting people to want it.
When did you know you were ready to open another bar?
It was about the right opportunity that came up at the right time, and we'd recouped the funds we'd already spent on the fit out at Bondi Hardware, and the money we'd made over that year, we've gone, well, rather than taking dividends each, we poured it back into it, and fortunately both of those venues are still going well.
You're in a tough industry for staffing, notorious for high turnover. How much do you invest in your staff?
Trying to maintain, particularly just your front of house staff, has been very, very difficult. So, you know, we have regular team get-togethers, we work on team culture, we make sure there's a good culture running between, not only in the venue, but between the venues. And we found that since we've sort of grown and really established that overall Applejack culture and the Applejack brand, we've found that staff turnover is a lot lower nowadays, which is great.
What have been your biggest challenges along the way?
I think making sure we're keeping things moving in the right direction on all the other businesses while growing.
What would be your advice to other young guns looking to open their own bar?
Understand the market that you're going into, understand the people, and understand what their wants and needs are, and try to listen to that. Once you understand that, then you can try to tailor a business around their needs.
That was terrific business, guys. Thanks for letting us look behind the scenes.
No worries, Alex. Thank you.
It's great to see a couple of young blokes take the plunge in business and have a payoff, isn't it? Of course, it was hard work and very calculated risk, as we heard there. Their advice: understand the market you're going into, listening to the wants and needs of people, and tailor your business around all of that. Coming up, one last tech tip from Val Quinn and the final instalment of Ask Kochie. This segment brought to you by NAB, helping Australian business see more, not less.
Hi, I'm Gavin Burnett, CEO and founder of Moboom, here in our Subiaco office in Perth. Moboom is a global technology company. Basically what we do is we make it really easy for organisations to create web products and to build websites that will work on any device. All of our development work is done out of San Francisco. We have a team of 20 technologists that work feverishly in downtown San Francisco. Our customer base at this point in time is primarily Australia, but we see that growing into the US in the not too distant future. The most important thing for a small business person to think about with their business website is what business am I in? So if you want to get found on Google and come up with relevant in searches, you need to be able to describe very clearly what it is that your business does. Organisations do need to have the ability for customers to come onto their site and just buy things. You don't have to have the most impressive website from day one, but have something. It certainly used to be very confusing for small businesses to go through the various different providers to come up with an e-commerce solution. We've made that decision super easy and a lot cheaper. One of the challenges of having a company which is global is you're dealing in different time zones. So you need to be organised, set regular times for meetings with your team so that you keep up to date with what's going on at the development level. And vice versa, because all of our servicing work is done out of the US and most of our clients are in Australia. The communication between your teams needs to be very strong. The key things for a startup company: one, you need capital, but on top of that, it's critical for a small business to get the right investors on board as well. Those that can afford to invest in a company and take a longer-term view on getting their return at some point in the future and not immediately. NAB is our banker, and they've been very supportive from a banking perspective with our general day-to-day needs. NAB is keen to really work with small business on their digital roadmap, helping them from getting established with a simple digital presence through to offering the e-commerce and other valuable add-ons that really help small business transact more online, have a better digital presence. So yeah, I see the bank taking an ever-growing role in that area with small business in Australia.
For more tips and stories, visit nab.com.au/moreforbusiness.
This tech tip brought to you by Canon.
The Maxify range from Canon is an excellent choice for businesses looking for a printer that excels in quality, connectivity, and ease of use. I've been testing the MB5360 and it really hits the mark. Now the print quality looks exceptional and very comparable to a laser printer. This special waterproof ink doesn't smudge, and I can even run a highlighter over text straight out of the printer. Connectivity-wise, this is a Wi-Fi printer and it will even print from mobile devices, that's either iOS or Android. And I love it when a client can come to the office and print straight from their tablet. You can also scan to the network or scan to emails or other cloud services like Dropbox, Google Drive, or OneDrive. It's also very easy to use, and the touchscreen made it simple to install. It only took me about 10 minutes to set up, so the Canon Maxify range can have your business up and running in no time at all.
We're giving away 10 Canon Maxify printers. To find out how you can win, head to kbbtv.com.au.
Well, our final Ask Kochie for this series of KBB comes from Sarah via our website. She asks, I'm a small florist and find it hard to stand out online and compete with bigger players. Help! Well, first up, list your company details on all the big line business directories. These are mostly free and a must for contact and SEO purposes. Then review your digital marketing. Email marketing can be a very effective way of doing it. So try building a database through competitions on social media and a sign-up form on your website. Targeted pay-per-click advertising on search engines and social media can be effective as well. Another powerful approach to stand out is to become an expert in your field. A short daily blog and tips on, say, what florists do or flower arranging will establish you as an authority, and that's really valuable in attracting customers. Plus, it'll provide lots of great content for your social channels. For help with the web design, SEO and marketing side of things, have a chat with our guys at KBB Digital who can work wonders for your business at kbbdigital.com.au. Now, thanks for tuning in this series. We've had a blast and hope you've taken some great tips out of it. Stay with us on the website at kbbtv.com.au or get involved on Facebook and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And above all, keep on learning and keep on building. We'll see you next time.